So the other day I got asked a question that we get asked pretty often, actually. Somebody told me that they had been sober for a number of months and they relapsed and they weren't really sure what step to take next. And every time I get this question, my first question is, what were you doing for that X amount of time to stay sober? And a lot of times it's, well, I was working and I was seeing my family and that's about it. Not getting high, not drinking. And then my follow-up question is, so you weren't working any type of program? And a lot of times the answer to that question is no. So we just thought that we'd make a quick video and talk about why working some sort of program, entering a treatment program, a 12-step program, whatever it may be, is important. I tried to stop getting high on my own a million times without working a program, without getting help from anybody. So we just thought we'd make a video and talk about that.
Yeah, and we're not here to push people one way or the other towards any type of program in general, but honestly, what we want people to realize is, when we're out there using drugs and alcohol, a lot of us are doing whatever we want to do, right? We're very impulsive, like addiction is all about chaos. So when we're drinking and using, basically our day consists of probably waking up, getting our substance of choice or figuring out how to get some kind of something to trade or cash in our hands, whatever it may be, so we can use our substance, right? Because that's what we need to function. Even for the people who are functioning addicts and alcoholics, your primary goal every day is to get to your substance, right? And to numb what's going on in here. So a lot of us, when we want to get into sobriety, number one, we got to get the drugs and alcohol out of our system. And for many of us, if we could do it on our own, we would have done it long before we got to this point, right? Or maybe we did it in jail or in the hospital because of something else, but most people need some kind of intervention in their life to get the drugs and alcohol out of their system, right? And that period could be anywhere from, 5 days to 21 days. It just depends on what the person's using, right? So once that's done, what do we have to do next? We have to learn how to live life basically on life's terms without a substance in our body, which sounds very simple, right? It is simple, but it's not easy, right? There's many things in life that are straightforward, but it takes a lot more than just doing it to actually get it done. So, one of the things people learn when they're in a program is, we talk a lot about structure, boundaries, and discipline, right? And those are the opposite of active addiction, which is complete chaos. So, that's honestly why many of us need a program of some sort, whether it's AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery, Refuge Recovery, a treatment center, whether it be community mental health or a private treatment center, whatever it is that's available to us, could be a counselor. We need people that are going to hold us accountable and keep us on this path because, a lot of us, when we come in, we have a lot of willingness where we feel ready to change, but just like everything in life, that willingness comes and goes. So we need people to keep us on track and people that aren't afraid to tell us that we're getting off the path that we're trying to go down. And also people, a lot of times who have been where we're at are very helpful too, right? Like people who have been in active addiction and maybe an alcoholic or whatever it may be, and who have made it out of that situation and have, so to speak, a formula. And sometimes you need many different formulas, which you find that, one thing may work for you from this formula, something may work from this formula, and you build your own formula for success, right? But many of us, we need people to lead us and guide us and help us practice these things on a daily basis, which we're striving to do, right, Tommy?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that you mentioned that was absolutely vital for me was you said that, we need some type of intervention in our life. Yeah. And that doesn't mean, the intervention that you see on TV where you walk into a room and your whole family's there. No. That's not necessarily, that does happen a lot,
sure.
But that's not necessarily what Nate meant when he said that. For me, that was, I had to get out of the environment that I was in because I could not stop using heroin on my own. The physical withdrawals were so bad that, if I was just laying there at whoever's house or in my car or whatever, I was going to come up with a plan somehow of how I was going to get high. It would consume my whole entire day. So I had to be completely removed from that environment and placed in a new environment, which for me was always a treatment center. So, that was absolutely vital for me. And one of the other things, that stuck out to me that I heard very early on was as far as why working a program is necessary and working with people who've been where you were at before, for me, it's AA. I cannot fix my messed up thinking with my messed up thinking.
Right.
It doesn't work. I have to have an outside influence, therapy. For me, I had to work the 12 steps with AA. So, we're not saying, like Nate said, we're not saying that one program is better than the other, one is necessary, but finding some sort of program, in my opinion, is absolutely necessary for everybody who wants to, remove themselves from that lifestyle, learn how to live, a new way without the control of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, and a lot of times programs can help us clean up the wreckage of our past, right? It's about healing broken relationships, and again, we talk about all the time, addiction and alcoholism is not measured in how many shots of liquor we drank or how many grams of heroin or whatever your substance of choice was. That's not how we measure addiction, right? Addiction is measured in broken relationships and continued use despite negative consequence. So a lot of times when we get into recovery, we have a lot of work to do to see those things that we've maybe been doing and also heal those relationships. Like Tommy said, if we could do it ourselves, we would have done it already, right? Really, it's about getting outside ourselves and not necessarily, getting into recovery is not about willpower. It's about giving up your will to a program, a system that has been successful for other people, because like Tommy said, our thinking is still sick. So really, guys, that's what we want to talk to you about today, was getting into a program and trying not to try and do it yourself. So
also, replacing one substance with another doesn't work for me or Nate or anyone else that we've ever met before who was successful in recovery. So just wanted to add that. All right, thank you guys.